So hello everyone, and welcome to this session. In this session, we're going to speak about marketing consultancy. We're going to speak about your future, hopefully in marketing consultancy, maybe in 5 years from now, and maybe in 4 years. We're going to understand how we have to develop a career in marketing consultancy. So to do so, today I'm going to first speak about what is consultancy. What do you mean by when we speak about consultancy career? We're going to have a little conversation about what are the ways of becoming a marketing consultant. And hopefully we're going to have some interview question. As who am I? I'm Reza. I'm module leader for marketing consultancy project in your 3rd year, and module leader for marketing strategy and implementation. I have some working experience in the marketing consultancy field, working in different firms and companies. So hopefully I can bring some of those experiences into this session, share with you some of the questions, interview questions that we usually do in the marketing consultancy firms like BNC, like McKinsey. So I think today will be helpful for you to some extent understand what you're going to do with your future career. So let's begin. So any consultancy at any level, start with the financial consultant, and it goes up to a strategy development consultant. There are different consultants that a firm just might hire. One of them can be finance consultant, one can be marketing consultants, one can be technical consultants, sales consultants, or a strategy development consultant. But to be honest with you, the most important ones that many firms benefit from are often finance consultants and marketing consultants. In industry, these two often make more money than, for example, security consultant, because security consultant is not involved in every single management decision. However, finance consultants and marketing consultants, to great extent, are involved in many managerial decisions. So speaking of marketing consultants, perhaps as a second important career in consultant job career, I want you to think about this question. How do you picture a marketing consultant? What do you think are their skills? How do you dress? How do they talk? Anything. Just when I say, how do you picture a marketing consultant? Anything that comes to your mind. Please use the chat area, the answer part, and feel free, think about it. When we say professional, very interesting word, professional. To be honest with you, professional and professionalism is the foundation of marketing consultancy. What else comes to your mind? What do you think about their lifestyle? What kind of lifestyle do you think they have? If you feel comfortable, please unmute yourself and speak. Let's wait a couple of minutes, maybe 2 minutes.
Just to let you know, if you're having any issues with unmuting your mic, please just raise your hand and I'll give you access to the mic as well.
Branding, definitely. I mentioned branding. Yeah, branding is another important element for when we say marketing consultants. What's about digital marketing? Do you think it's related to marketing consultants as well? Yeah, definitely. So when we are speaking about a marketing consultant, we're actually speaking about someone who's professional. or maybe someone who is expert in something, in one particular area. Oftentimes, marketing consultants are going to be hired because of their expertise. So a marketing consultant, the first thing that comes to your mind is someone who is an expert in the marketing. Marketing consultant is usually always is hired because businesses can do what a marketing consultant can do. So they're getting paid to come to these businesses, to think for them and show them the correct path. You as a marketing consultant oftentimes get hired because businesses want you to bring value into their companies. So the first thing that comes to my mind personally, if I want to say about marketing consultant, in addition to good money, because there are a lot of good money in the marketing consultancy, I'm going to speak a little about it, is that you need to be expert, and you need to be, you just don't have to be a regular expert, you don't have to be a top expert in your field, which is marketing. So you might think to yourself, what are the ways of becoming a consultant? The first one is through the direct entry. You graduate from Middlesex University, from any other university, and you usually apply for example, McKinsey consultancy firm. I'm going to speak a little about this firm in the next slide. Or you might work a couple of years in industry and then accordingly join the consultancy. If you want to join from just right after graduation, oftentimes the application process to get into marketing, to join a marketing consultancy firms, is often between 5 to 8 weeks. So you submit your application after graduation. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks to have the first round of interview. Some very basic questions here and there in the first interview. And if you are accepted in the first round interview, then we invite you to the second round interview, which is the most important round of interview. And I'm going to speak a little about this second round interview question. And hopefully after 10 days later, you receive your offer. So overall, many students across the United Kingdom and in the United States try to join 3 important marketing consultancy firms. The first one is McKinsey consultancy firm. McKinsey consultancy firm perhaps is the most prestigious consultancy firm which operates globally. It has offices in North Africa. It has offices in, I believe, in America for sure, the United Kingdom, till to Australia. Another important firm is BCG. So BCG is Boston Consulting Group, is the second important marketing consultancy firm that again operates globally. And lastly is the Bain & Company. Bain & Company is a more management consultancy. So if you're really if you really want to become a marketing consultant, McKinsey and BCG are perhaps the most suitable choices for you and for your career choice. So when you become a marketing consultant, when you join, let's say McKinsey or BCG, you have different responsibilities. Based on my own experiences, you work in a professional context. It's because we are working in business context, so everything is professional, but we have an informal culture. An informal culture does not mean to act casual or informal. No, it means that we can act friendly with each others. We can be fun. We can be fun to work with, but we are still professional. So you might say, okay, Reza, I want to join a marketing consultancy firm, and I want to join McKinsey or BCG right away. What are my options? So if you are a UG student, graduated in Middlesex University, oftentimes your first role as when you join these consultancy firms is you start joining as an analytics. In this position, you're mainly in charge of gathering information, collecting data, and analyzing the gathered data. You have very little contact with the clients because these clients might have high expectations. So oftentimes firms do not want to be in touch with recent graduates. And another important thing about this role is that often only large firms have this position. So here one question for you. What do you think is the starting salary when you join, let's say, McKinsey as an analytic, to join their analytic team? How much do you think you can earn per year? What is your starting number, let's say?
Derby mentioned 25,000.
25. It's good to start, but I think you need to raise your expectation a little higher, Darby. You're joining McKinsey. McKinsey is like King's College University. Let's say that. It's so prestigious that everyone across the globe wants to join it. So 25, no, I will not pay you 25. I will pay you more. Any other idea? Let me see. The starting salary in this position oftentimes is starting from 30K per year, pound per year. But it can definitely raise depending on your previous experience, your degree, your skills. But the starting salary is often 29 or 30. So you work many years, not many years. The very important thing that you need to know about becoming a marketing consultant is that in this career, you can grow very quickly. So within 3 or 4 years, you become a consultant. As a consultant, you have more contact with your client. So you will see them more regularly. You as a marketing consultant, because in the let's say BCG, you become a more digital marketing consultant, you become specialized in one particular area. It can be digital marketing, it can be branding, but telling you from my own experience in McKinsey, you can either become specialized in marketing research, in digital marketing, or design, or technology. So these are the areas that often, we guide the student to go and to look for the position based on their interest. You can easily be promoted into this role within 3 years or 4 years after working in analytic team, or as I explained here, when you join the consultancy firms, you work in industry for a couple of years, you join the consultancy firm, you can be also joined as a consultant. And you have, for example, working in industry maybe 5 years, let's say 5 to 10 years, that's the often norm we have seen. And then you change your career and you become a marketing consultant. So here, how much do you think you can earn? Any idea how much as a consultant in a McKinsey you're going to earn? 45. It is exact, more or less is the starting point, the 45, but it is often 40 to 45. So it depends on the level of your experiences, which industry you have been working on, what is the particular area that you are an expert in it. So it depends. It mainly depends on your background, but 45 is, I can say, yes, definitely. So moving on, you have been many years you worked as a consultant. Now it's time for you to become a senior consultant. the senior consultant is responsible for leading a team. But these senior consultants just do not lead any regular, consultancy teams. They only lead those teams that they are expert in it. For example, a senior consultant can be only expert, let's say, in design in McKinsey. They often have 3 to 5 years of consultancy experience, and they are very, very involved in dealing with different members of the client team. For example, they can speak with different HR employees. They can speak with the different, for example, speaking of my experience from, for example, finance team. So you're there to know the main issue of your client and lead a consultancy team. How much do you think you here are gonna earn? Any idea? I think after this session, everyone wants to become marketing consultant. Good salary, indeed. So let me see. 65 here as a senior consultant, you can earn easily up to 180, I would say 80, yes, 80, 90. It just easily you can earn up to this number, but it depends on where you work. It depends on many factors. It's not just one regular factor that say you have a degree. No, it depends on your experience. About 65 easily. Even I would say higher, up to 70, you can easily earn as a senior consultant. So you have been a senior consultant for at least 5 years to 10 years, and then you become a business development manager. So here you are in charge of developing relationship with new clients, finding new clients. As a business development manager, you're often involved in very large and complicated projects which are at the strategic levels. For example, you might have, and I'm speaking of my own experience, you might have a client who is Netflix, and they want to, for example, enter into, I don't know, India market, and they don't know how to start, what's the criteria they should care about. So you are there as a strategic level. Or they might even want to, I don't know, start creating cartoons for children, but they don't know what's the target market, how much they have, how they have to start. So as a business development manager, you work at a very strategic level. The questions that you deal with are tough questions, very complicated, and they already come large questions. They are very large projects that you work with. So you have to, even you might, most of the time you're on travel. Sometimes you're in China, sometimes you're in, I don't know, San Francisco. It depends. It actually depends on the project, but the projects often are very large and are very complicated. Here, minimum is 100, minimum is 90, minimum starting salary. And the last point, the top of the top list is to become a director, is a director of a marketing consultancy firm. So directors oftentimes have many years, minimum 15 years. 10 years is just expected norm, but to be honest with you, most of them have a minimum 15 years, 20 years, it's just a norm. They are very experienced, again, very specialized in one particular area, and importantly, they have regular contact with senior personnel of the client team. So they are, for example, the directors often have meeting with CEOs, with the branding managers. As a director, they are mostly in charge of meeting the senior personnel because they want to develop further projects for a consultancy firm. So, any questions so far? Any questions? So after thinking about this, wonderful salaries, you might say, okay, I'm thinking about it. And I said, well done. That's what I wanted you to think about. So now it's time to think about some interview questions. So again, you come to Middlesex University, you successfully passed the marketing consultancy project module with me. You get first, you get you get a reference email from your clients, because in this module you work with real clients and you have to play the role of a consultant, but you will have my support and MDX support to guide you through this project. And then you say, wow, wonderful, I can become a marketing consultant. I want to join, let's say, BCG. And then you start thinking about joining a marketing consultancy firm. The first thing you realize that when you want to become a marketing consultancy and when you want a marketing consultant and join one of these firms, the interview are not regular interviews. They're not going to ask you, okay, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your weaknesses. The questions are a bit different. And here we're going to see some of these different questions. Overall, there are 9 types of case interviews. We refer to these questions as case interviews that you might face. It is start with, I don't know, pricing, profitability, or it can be about the competitors. So let's have a look at some of these questions. So I want you to think about some of these questions and perhaps even write your answer, I don't know, write on a piece of paper, think about these questions. So let's begin with the first one. We call this brain teaser. How do you put a giraffe in a fridge? These are real questions that you might most likely face in some of. So let's wait for each question, perhaps 30 seconds, so you can think about it. Then we're going to work on the answers. Any idea how to put a giraffe in a fridge? Any solution? Build a large refrigerator. Chop the giraffe. Okay. Large refrigerator. Okay. So, good solutions. So let's go to the next one. Some of you might say, just open the fridge and put the giraffe in it. Yeah, and then close it. Yeah, that's one solution. So let's carry on. Let's go to the second question. Should a food retailer offer other services such as insurance? Yes or no? Think about it again for 30 seconds and then let me know what you think. Interesting. Depends on the size, experience, ability to go to new markets. Any other idea? I'm choosing the future marketing consultancy, guys. If it's something people want and profitable, yeah, Tesco Mobile. Some of you have really are talented. I can see that. Yeah, it depends on their. So let's go to the next question. What should banks do with their counter staff as ATM network expand or artificial intelligence expand? Or for example, in Tesco, we have a lot of self-checkout. What should we do with these counter staff? Think about it for a minute for this one. Bonus. Very interesting idea. Make them redundant. That's a very tough call. Make them redundant, but pay them the redundancy bonus. Yeah. Any other ideas? Let's wait 20 more seconds. I love these ideas. I really like these ideas. Alternative jobs cannot be done by technology, relocated staff. Some people want to speak to a human. Yeah. I like these ideas that you're saying. It's very interesting. These ideas are amazing. Yeah. So let's go to the next one. How should the gourmet coffee chain locate its stores? Usage of coffee. Yeah. What else? What else do you think about? Business parks. People can go in the lunch for meetings. Yeah. Let's see. Do market research and find the areas that have the highest potential demand. Very, very interesting ideas. Very interesting and novel ideas. Anything else? So let's go to the next question. It's a bit tricky. How many people surf the web in a single weekday? Let's say in United Kingdom. Let's say in London, even let's make it easier. Don't Google it. Because when you're doing an interview, you can Google it. 56 million. %90 of population. Any other idea? So let's go to another one. Should a gin company buy a beer company or a snack company? Because people, eat a snack while you're drinking. So what do you think? Snack company or a beer company? Trust me, I have asked some of these questions myself. So what do you think? Beer, same industry, less risky. What about a snack? Think about it for 30 seconds. A snack. Depends whether I want to expand to customer base, other drinkers, or expand into a stack. Okay, that very interesting ideas coming. If you want, you can even unmute yourself and speak about some of them. So let's get to the next one. Should a food company offer olives with the stones or without? It's a very tricky question, this one. Refer to these questions as new product introduction. So should we introduce olives with the stones or without? What customer prefer? Research, yeah. Fresh olives with a stone, yeah. So let me see any other ideas. So, and an interview questions about opportunity assessment. So, a soda bottler, should it backward integrate into producing syrup? Yes or no? It's an opportunity. But should we do it? Yes or no? Any idea? If it makes the business as a whole more profitable, yes, why not? If they have the fund, why not? Yeah. So a pricing strategy. How does a post office should price a first-class stamp? It's about pricing strategy, and it's about it's in particular, and it's about marketing strategy in general. So how should a post office price? I started thinking about some of these questions, to be honest with you myself. So let's see, premium products, so price skimming. I like this pricing skimming. It's very interesting for me that you know what price skimming is, because it's mostly for the third-year business management student who any other idea about pricing? How should we? So another question. We're losing money as let's say a drugstore. So what should we do? That's interesting. So see what the needs are. Okay. I think I missed some of them. Any ideas about we're losing money? Not even, let's say, not even as a pharmacy company. Let's say as a brand. Work out where the cost can be saved, and if ethical, it should change how a store is managed. Yeah. financial audits. So overall, these are some of the questions that we ask, you know, even marketing consultancy interns, because firms, the McKinsey consultancy has a lot of internship opportunity across the globe. So when you want to answer these questions, the first thing that I would like you to know, and I always tell to a student, my student who are doing marketing consultancy module with me, or we're preparing them for joining McKinsey or BCG or any other smaller consultancy firm, is to remember there is no right answer. Instead, me, as someone who's interviewing you, I want to see the consultancy skills in you. We want to see to what extent we can refer to you as a good consultant, to what extent you have those skills. Those skills are mostly about being analytical, knowing how we have to run a project, and importantly about the relationship management. So in the marketing consultancy module, we go through all these skills, but I don't want to explain about them too much right now because it's become very boring for you. But overall, when you're facing such questions, the first thing, ask some clarifying questions. Okay, if it's losing business, if it's losing profit, where exactly is losing profit? Or some of you specifically ask, okay, what are the costs? What are the benefits? Evaluate the situation. Yeah, just like what you said. If you want to fire, okay, these are some other alternatives you can do. And finally, based on the evidence, based on the, based on your result, respond. We always tell, I and MD Export team always tell to student, never be arrogant. Say, oh, this is what I think, this is what I learned in university. No, because in the McKinsey firms, we really don't want to hire someone who's arrogant. Don't be rude, and importantly, just don't come with some random questions. Remember, in these interview questions, you can ask as many questions as you want, and we want you to ask these questions. Your employees looking to see if you ask these right questions. If you're interested in some of these interview questions, you can find some of these interview questions at thecaseinterview.com. I think this is the best source that I always tell to my student, anyone who wants to join a consultancy firm. You will see a lot of these case-related interview questions. So let's work. Let me give you 3 more samples, 3 more questions. These are very recent ones that I think I asked an intern maybe 5 weeks ago. So what is your solution? Let's wait for like 1 minute. You did a consultancy project, a client comes to you and say, hey, I'm not happy with the performance. What do you say? Any idea? You would talk to them and see what's the reason. To be honest, that's exactly what you should do. So the general approach that we often be looking for to check if you have that relationship skills is to first apologize from your clients, because you don't want to lose a client. Client means money. Then listen to them and understand what's the reason and how best you can handle it. Some other interview questions that, again, this is not very recent. This, I think it was for 2021. What will a customer consider when they want to buy a Toyota? comfort, fuel, yeah, consumption, color, affordable, in good conditions, price of the fuel, price of the car, yeah, definitely, the number of the design, exactly. So we're looking at, you know, functionality cost, the functionality factors, we're looking at the cost factors, the physical factor, and we might even look at emotional factors. To what extent you really like a car, or to what extent you feel you you will enjoy riding this car. So let's ask you the last one, and I promise this is going to be the last one. How do you assess your target audience, target market preference for a sport car? I mean, how you can gather data? Primary, secondary. Ask them directly. Yeah, ask friends, ask colleagues. You can either ask like one of you mentioned, you can either ask them directly, you can interview them, you can have survey with them, or you can have a secondary, you can use secondary sources like reports, like I don't know, client sale reports, or maybe having a look at some expert interviews that an expert had already done and uploaded it on the internet. So overall, if I want to finalize, especially for you that you're about to join the university and you start thinking about your career, your future is built, your career future in any marketing consultancy is built upon connection. Connection brings you value, value brings you money. So connection in the business world in general, and in marketing consultancy in particular, means value. And you need to start thinking about who your connections are in the business context. There are two ways people work in industry, especially in marketing consultancy. One group work for money. They move for the money. The other moves for opportunities. For example, one might say that in this small firm, I get paid much more in comparison to, let's say, McKinsey. But one might say McKinsey is the best marketing consultancy firm functioning globally, so I want to join them. It's good advice that one of my mentors when I was much younger told me that is to always move for a good boss, because from a good boss you can learn many things. From a good boss you can learn the basic skill that's needed in industry, like relationship skills, like analytical skills. Another thing that I've learned throughout these years, and I would like to share with you, is that make sure that your career move in the right way that is right for you, not right for anyone else. Because in the end, a marketing consultancy job is a very stressful job. You have to go through pages and pages of report. Let me show you one of them right now. So this is one of them. I don't know if you can see it, Nicola, can you see it? So this is just one simple report that you have to go through it. You have to analyze it. You have to read it. But if you're not really enjoying what you're doing, this is not the right path for you. So therefore, make sure that your career is in the path that is right for you, not for anyone else. Another thing, never lose sight of your personal life, your families, your friends, your mental health. Remember, in a marketing consultancy firm, always great works will pay off. all the time. And lastly, you might not think about it very seriously, start pension now. You will need it sooner than you think. So with this in mind, ladies and gentlemen, any questions? Any questions about what we went through?
If anyone has any questions, please feel free to type your questions in the question answer box on the bottom of the screen, or you can unmute your mic.
So let me stop sharing the. Any question that you would like to ask about marketing consultancy? No worries. So I hope this session was useful for you. Feel free to. Is marketing consultancy a common course in this university? So marketing consultancy is an optional module for last year students in BA marketing and for BA management with marketing major. It's an optional module, but it's something that many students usually register in this module because it's a very practice-based module. It's not a regular theory module, and you work with real clients, but I, as your module leader, will act as a senior consultant, and I will lead your team to respond to your client needs. This year, 3 of my students got the job just from their clients, and 1 were offered to work with them on a project because the quality of the work was phenomenal. But I would say it's an optional module, so it's not a compulsory module. But yes, you have this marketing consultancy. You work with real clients. You act as a real consultant, and you have to come with the solution. It's for the 3rd year. So any other questions? Any other questions you might have? So for getting into finance, that's a very good question. So one of the let me tell you the name of this company is PNW. PN, because I don't work with them, but just give me a few seconds to tell you the name correctly. Let me check one of my emails. Yeah, is KPMG. So KPMG is a consultancy firm that's just focused on the finance consultancy. The similar process that you go through, you get into marketing consultancy, it's very similar to finance, but it's much more different because you are oftentimes work with numbers, and you have to come with the very detailed numerical recommendations. But this process is almost similar into getting into finance consultancy. McKinsey also have this you can have, it does have this option that you can join them as a finance consultant. But the project that I was involved in it because of my expertise, my educational background, I haven't been very involved into finance consultancy. So any other question? This is taught in a module in the marketing degree because you need some information, you need some knowledge first about marketing to be able to deal with the clients, because the clients are real business people and they usually have high expectations. So you need to have a certain level of knowledge, certain level of, I wouldn't say experience, because most of my students, they don't have consultancy experience. They are often they're young, 21, 22, and we regard them as, you know, consultancy interns. So, but you need that, you need to go through, for example, other modules, let's say marketing research, let's say marketing innovation, let's say digital marketing, to have that knowledge, to be able to, you know, work with these real clients. But it is a module, it's not a degree, it's not a separate degree, it is embedded within the marketing program. So I think we have more questions. To be honest with you, I wouldn't recommend to get into courses and then think you can start as a consultant, because first of all, there aren't, you won't have this McKinsey, if they want to hire a consultant, let's say not even analytic, someone who works, who is analytical, they oftentimes hire someone who has a university degree. They don't look at someone who only have some kind of how do you call it, some certificate. They specifically look for your degree. They really value if you have, or if you had already had this experience in your university, which in the Middlesex University, we do offer these opportunities to our students. And to become finance consultants, you need to start studying finance and accounting if you want to become a finance consultant. I think economics maybe, but you have to have your master, should be in something, I'm not sure again. So any other questions that you might have? I think one best solution to understand about the finance consultant is to check their, you know, to check the job adverts and see their needs. And I will recommend you to look at McKinsey, because McKinsey, everything is very clear. Also, you might wonder, you don't know what you know, you don't know which area of marketing consultancy you're interested. If you go to McKinsey firms, McKinsey consultancy website, we have a test that you can participate in that test and understand what type of what type of career in marketing consultancy is suitable for you. Are you good for design? Are you good for research? Are you good for strategy? We give you a very general idea. Any other questions? Any questions? Did I answer to your all questions? So if you don't have any further question, I think we can end our session by now. It was wonderful meeting you all. I hope I managed to make you a little interested in the marketing consultancy. I hope that I can see you soon, maybe in the next 3 years, or maybe in the 4 years in the marketing consultancy module and in the marketing degree, marketing program. So any questions? No? Nicola, over to you, please. If you have any questions or anything else to say.
I don't think there's anyone else asking a question. Darby has just said thank you for your session. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you so much, Reza, for your time today.
No worries. So good luck, everyone, and I hope to see you soon again. Take care.